Manthorpe was one of those parts of Grantham that quietly gets under your skin, in a good way. It feels villagey, it feels established, and it has a mix of proper history plus modern convenience that a lot of buyers are chasing, especially people relocating who want calm without feeling cut off. If you do not know it well, Manthorpe sits on the northern edge of Grantham, roughly a mile or so from the town centre. So you're close enough to pop into town quickly, but you're far enough out that it does not feel like you're living right in the bustle. A bit of history first, because Manthorpe has some real roots. Before the 19th century, it was basically agricultural land, and it was tied in with Little Gonaby. And the old route from Grantham up towards Lincoln ran through what is now known as Low Road, and the area was closely connected to Belton Estate. Then, in the early 1800s, the Brownlow family linked to Belton pushed the development of a newer road from Grantham towards Belton, and through the mid-19th century, you start seeing things that made it feel like a proper settled village. New homes, a school, and a church. One of the local anchors is St. John the Evangelist Church, built in the 1840s as an estate church to serve estate workers, which tells you a lot about how Manthorpe grew. It was shaped by the estate, and you still feel that in the character of the place. Now, let us talk homes, because that is why you're watching this. And yes, if you're thinking of buying or selling in Grantham, this was made for you. Manthorpe is not one uniform housing estate vibe. You have older, more characterful property in and around the older village core, you have established 20th century family housing, and you also have newer modern builds around the edges. So buyers have options depending on whether they want charm, space, low maintenance, or a mix of the lot. On pricing, you're going to see a range, and it's worth saying out loud that different property portals sometimes show different averages depending on exactly what boundaries they're pulling data from. For example, Rightmove shows an overall average of about £302,000 over the last year for Manthorpe, which with detached and semis forming a big chunk of sales. Zoopla shows a much higher average sold price figure, which can happen when the dataset is capturing a slightly different slice of the area or different property mix. So the sensible takeaway is this: Manthorpe has everything from sensible family homes right through to higher value property, and the price you pay will be heavily driven by whether you're buying character and land or buying modern and efficient, and of course exactly where you're sitting in Manthorpe itself. If you want, drop a comment with your budget and what you need, and I will tell you honestly what tends to come up in that price range. Facilities wise, the big benefit is you are close to Grantham for the day-to-day stuff: shopping, gyms, services, and you're also right on the doorstep of Belton and the countryside feel that people love about this side of town. The other thing I like here is that it suits different life stages. You get families who want schools and space, you get downsizers who want quiet and easy access, and you get commuters who want a straightforward run out to the A1. And yes, the A1 point matters. Manthorpe is well placed for getting out north or south without having to fight your way across the whole of Grantham first, which is a proper quality of life upgrade if you commute a few days a week. Train station access is also a big tip for Grantham buyers. You're not trying to live next door to a station, but you can still get to the Grantham station easily, and that is one of the reasons Grantham as a whole works so well for London commuters and people travelling regularly. Schools are always a big question, and the honest answer is school preferences depend on the child, the year group, and catchment. So I never want to pretend there's one single correct option. The most practical tip I can give you: use the Lincolnshire County Council's Find Your Nearest School tool, because it was built exactly for the questions based on your actual address. Manthorpe also sits within a reach of range of well-known Grantham primaries and secondaries, so you're not short of options. You just want to check what is realistic for your specific home. Now, the big forward-looking point, and this is important if you're watching because you care about the future value and the feel of the area. There are new developments planned and coming to the north of Manthorpe, including a substantial site called Manthorpe Chase, which is in development. One of the announcements around this talks up to 480 new homes, plus land for a new primary school, a neighbourhood centre, and public open space, located north of Longcliffe Road. That brings opportunity and change at the same time. Opportunity because new facilities and fresh investment can be a real positive and can create more choice for buyers. Change because construction, traffic patterns, and the local feel can shift while it's being built out. So if you're buying in Manthorpe, you want to be aware of where those sites sit in relation to the home you are choosing. So why is Manthorpe a good option in Grantham? It is the balance. It's not trying too hard. It's established. It has a sense of identity. It's close enough to town that life is easy, but it's positioned in a way that feels calmer, greener, and slightly more spacious than some other pockets. It also makes sense for commuters because you have access to major routes and the station. And it makes sense for families because the wider Grantham area gives you plenty of schooling and lifestyle options. If you've enjoyed this little drive around Manthorpe in Grantham, give the video a like. hit subscribe and drop a comment telling me what you would like me to drive around next. And if you're buying or selling in Grantham or relocating and you want straight talking advice, you'll find links in the description, including my guides. And you can always message me directly. I'll help you figure out your next move. Cheers for now.